The new Monster Manual will be out any day now for D&D 2024, the 50th anniversary revised version of the game's 5th edition. A year late, of course, but you can't rush good work. One would therefore expect the work to be good, but it isn't. Yes, it does have a lot of extra stat blocks, apparently including many more variant monsters, including a massive primeval owlbear, and many extra stat blocks for powerful NPCs, which was lacking from the 2014 version, but it also comes with some revisions to bring it in line with current year sensibilities. After all, we are over a decade into the current year now. It's literally 2015. No, wait, 2025. And thus, some of the more problematic elements of D&D must be changed. For one thing, orcs are no longer monsters, so they are no longer in the Monster Manual. That's right, one of the oldest and most defining monsters of D&D has made its journey from the Monster Manual to straddling the Monster Manual and Player's Handbook in the Half-Orc, to also being a playable race from the Monster Manual in 3rd edition, should your DM be okay with the concept, to being in the Player's Handbook and leaving the Monster Manual behind. So enlightened. After all, they are real people and thus shouldn't be classified as monsters. That might hurt the precious orcs' feelings. They certainly aren't imaginary creatures. No, they are racist representations of black people, of course, so they must be treated with respect. What the actual fuck is going through the minds of these retards now? Who the hell is buying these new monster manuals thinking, yes, I must spend $60 or $70 to virtue signal? For that much money, you could have bought the entire Adventurer Conqueror King system and played an actual good game. For that much money, you could have a somewhat nice dinner out. There are lots of things you could do with all that money that don't contribute to the degradation of the tabletop hobby that many of these misshapen soys claim to love and cherish, and to be long-term veterans of. So many YouTube channels related to D&D have already cucked out in regards to their views on this change. The stereotype of a D&D player as a beta male nerd really rings true when these fucking cucks give up without a fight. They don't even have outrage against this. They only offer the most mild of disagreements, and only when prefaced with copious apology for being a D&D player who didn't enter the hobby in 2016 alongside Stranger Things and other media garbage. Oh, and the other thing. Phylacteries are no longer part of the game. Liches have soul jars, or soul vessels, or whatever other forgettable name they were given, because phylacteries are apparently something used in Jewish rituals. Except they're not even called that, but that's irrelevant. The powers that be have decided that phylacteries are anti-Semitic, and thus they are removed from the game. Yes, that is serious. Never mind that golems are still left in the game. Why are those any better or different? Are we suddenly implying that Jewish people are leeches because we don't want you to change the name of an item that's been in the game for years? No one has complained about this before. It is pure virtue signaling from Wizards of the Coast. Is that phrase tired yet? Too bad, because it is apt, and its use will continue until this stupidity ends. It won't, though, because the game has no other purpose anyone than to pander to social justice warriors. Oh, and speaking of which, we now have male hags and male Medusas, both of which were very necessary. Yes, it's not as though these creatures had specific reproductive cycles related to humanoids, and thus giving them a raison d'etre within the game world to prey on humanoids for such purposes. No. Now they are just like everyone else, and so is your illegal immigrant neighbor. He's just like you. Please ignore the illegal AK-47s he has stashed in his SUV that was paid for by your tax dollars. Seriously though, this new edition is like one big demoralization operation targeting anyone who started playing the game before 2016. It's disturbing. They want everyone using their virtual tabletop, which is still in development, by the way, and probably will be for years. They want everyone giving them microtransaction money for shit-tier tokens and scenery for their virtual tabletop, all art made by disabled transgender artists, of course. Oh, wait. Who am I kidding? It's Wizards of the Coast. It will be done by AI. I genuinely can't decide which will be worse. Perhaps if they used AI art more often, the quality of Magic the Gathering art would actually improve and not look like a fucking child's cartoon. But that is a rant for another time. For now, it is important to draw some sort of conclusion from this, and that is that the march into sterile oblivion continues unabated for Wizards of the Coast and will not be corrected. God help you if you buy this book. You should know better by now. Jesus fucking Christ.